nephrology major here at Adelphi. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to speak in front of you tonight, and thank you on behalf of all the Adelphi University scholarship recipients. You have generously given your time and financial support to these lucky students without ever having the opportunity to meet most, if not any of us, in advance of your doing so. However, I must admit that I feel personally grateful and privileged enough to personally thank you for your support in funding my own academic and athletic scholarships. By doing so, I cannot emphasize enough how your generosity has relieved a huge amount of stress off the shoulders of my family and myself, and continues to allow me to focus solely on playing volleyball, working hard to maintain my 4.0 GPA, and advocating for people afflicted or impacted by brain tumors. What most of you do not know is the road to Adelphi and standing before you at this podium today, has been a long road filled with profound hardship and perseverance. You may not be able to tell this by looking at me, but I am a 2-time brain tumor survivor. 7 years ago, when I was just 11 years old, I was diagnosed with my first brain tumor after having a seizure in a basketball game. The tumor was located on the left side of my brain, which is an area I like to refer to as the Times Square of the brain because it controls the language and motor skills for the entire right side of my body. My first thought when I was told I had a brain tumor was, am I going to die like my father? My father died 3 months before I was born of glioblastoma multiforme. He survived only a mere 6 months after his diagnosis. I was given very good news regarding what the outcomes of the surgery could be. Total paralysis of the right side of my body, my face partially drooping, impaired speech, and loss of sight in one eye were all very real realities. But despite these possibilities, I told myself every day that I needed to remain positive. At the time of my first surgery, the best way to minimize all deficits was to remain awake during the surgery. I was scared beyond imagination, but I knew this was the best option for me. Undergoing this surgery meant that I would become the youngest person in the United States to have awake brain surgery. Something I was unaware of then, but know now, is the typical deficits resulting from brain surgery are commonly caused by having to cut through the critical fiber tracts of the brain that are the message pathways to our body's actions and functions. The 8-hour surgery went better than my surgeon expected, but my recovery felt like an eternity. It took almost 2 full years for me to return to normal. For the duration of the healing process, I was unable to play sports, the very things that filled each of my days with happiness. My grades dramatically dropped from consistent A+s to frequent Fs. Oftentimes, I felt like I was trapped in a fog and the world just kept spinning around me. I was extremely depressed and angry and could not comprehend why I could not instantly return to the way I was before surgery. Then, after about 2 years, my life largely resumed to normal. However, almost 4 years to the day after I was diagnosed with my first tumor, the doctors had determined that the tumor grew back in the same exact spot, only it was deeper and harder to reach. I was 15, excelling in academics and volleyball, having fun with my friends, and had no sign of a brain tumor in my plans. Because of the depth and difficult location of the tumor, traditional surgery was no longer an option for me. I told my surgeon he had to find another way, a better way, to remove this tumor because there was no way I was going to be set back for 2 years of my life again. Thankfully, my surgeon did find the way that I was hoping existed. This new technology called BrainPath could access my tumor by displacing brain fibers versus cutting through them, and then create a pathway to the tumor so it could be safely removed. The combination of this new, highly innovative technology, advanced imaging and navigation allowed the surgeon to get to the tumor with an opening the size of a dime. I left the hospital just 23 hours after surgery with no physical or cognitive deficits. The next day I went to watch my team practice, and 2 days later, I went to watch my volleyball team play in the regional championships. I went back to school just 1 week later and completely resumed my normal life, while also earning nothing less than a 94 on all of my final exams. I can proudly say that I'm the first person in the world to be able to compare conventional surgery versus surgery with BrainPath. I do not ever take this position lightly or for granted, and because of my unique standing in the brain tumor community, I've had many amazing opportunities to help others suffering with brain tumors. This year alone, while juggling the demands of collegiate volleyball and maintaining a 4.0 GPA, I've been featured on the national television show The Doctors, the keynote speaker in Washington, D.C. in front of Congress, featured in ESPNW in October, in a production video with the NIH, and a featured article for Newsday. I regularly speak to children with brain tumors and their families, along with surgeons and radiologists, about many topics, including the benefits of awake brain surgery and surgery with NICO BrainPath. Our president, Dr. Reardon, has said, "The achievements of the past are only as valuable as the vision they inspire for the future." One of my biggest goals in life is to use my experiences as a brain tumor survivor to instill faith and hope in every patient that comes to my path by sharing my experiences to help them see that they too can overcome the impossible. I plan to continue to educate brain tumor victims, their families, and the medical community about the new innovative technologies that now exist. I am confident that Adelphi will give me the tools and skills to accomplish these goals, which I believe will have a positive impact on the lives of many people. Adelphi has felt like home for me since I first stepped foot on campus in 9th grade for volleyball camp. At that point, it was a dream of mine to one day attend this university. It has been a long and hard road to get here, but I can now say I am living a dream that is beyond explanation with any combination of words. I cannot thank you enough or repay you for your generosity, but I will continuously strive to make each and every one of you proud of your investment in me with my future accomplishments that will hopefully change the world as we know it in a positive way. Thank you.